before I proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long, some of you. So if you just scroll down and take a look at the description, you will see how I provide the chapters. So, take for example, out of all these skins today, has anything caught your eye? Well, consider looking at the description. All the skins are chaptered. If you truly wish to skip ahead, just scroll down. It's all there. So, that's totally up to you. The choices with the skins today, well, feel free to comment below. Are you satisfied? We did see quite a lot of collection continuations. We did see another HMLMG. We did see another L96. But if you were aware of all the recent Ruskin submissions in terms of clothing and armor, yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you're upset. I wouldn't blame you if you're upset in terms of the choices. I've got nothing against the cargo heli boots and gloves. Totally fine. It's a lovely addition. But there's so many interesting things that have been submitted recently in terms of clothing and armor, and none of it's been accepted. We'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. But yep, as I said, in regards to collection continuations, Popstar's returned with an M249 Thompson. So that's 2 weeks in a row now. Pretty interesting. We have Molten Visage making a lovely return. You might want to get like a fire extinguisher. That bit's on fire. Protector as the handmade LMG, as I already mentioned, cargo heli as well. Tier 2 has had a bit of a buyout today. Black Diamond makes a return with a very nice looking L96. And of course, both storage collections progress once more. So, yep, the small props collection is now up to 7. And it really does look like that very likely could be pushing up to like 15 to 18 in total, like a large box collection. And of course, with the Sinotype stone box, that's now number 15. On the workshop, we currently have the drop box as number potentially 16. And we're aware the Skin Crater intends to make an electric box as well. So that very likely could surpass 18 maybe. We'll see if that happens. So, yep, overall, there's still some nice positivity. It's just, if you were aware of the things that were submitted, if only you were aware. So let's switch over to here, just to point out that the Rust rotated about an hour and a half ago almost. Sales aren't that high. And I've got to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised this Rustle will be like a bit of a quiet one. I wouldn't expect to see huge sales. Maybe that might change, we'll see, but I'm still having doubts. Anyway, you're going to probably sit there and ask, okay, well, out of all these skins, which ones are abnormal? Well, if you go to rusthelp.com, you'll see it quite literally labels them. So the only skins this week that are not abnormal is the small ammo box, the cargo heli boots, and the brain drain AK-47. Yeah, the cargo heli gloves are abnormal. $1.49. Boots, only 99 cents. Okay, cool. So, first impression with the Rustle, as I said, I don't really expect it to be like huge sales this week. It very likely might be a tame week. Now, let me explain to you why I'm upset in regards to what could have been picked today. So, if we just, get a good look at the recent clothing and armor skins that have been submitted. So, this was actually last week. So, this is November 4. Lots of interesting skins, including beds and all that. But if we could just scroll down, as I said, with all the clothing and the armor. Cargo heli boots and gloves are there. But we also had Artist hoodie and pants, Darkness hoodie and pants, Temple hoodie and pants, Sultan's tier 2, Chromatic Core tier 3, Polar tier 3, Delta tier 3, Lamb tier 3. You might notice there was a lot of like white clothing and armor there. Face Punch is just very averse to the idea of accepting any more like camouflage skins. So that was a week ago. This was just this past weekend. And as you might notice, there's still tons of very nice looking clothing armor pieces that could have been accepted. But no, look at all the options here. Tons of skins, but no, zero. Like, personally, I was rooting for, like, Thundergold. That would have been an absolutely amazing acceptance. That would complete the clothing and armor set. We already have tier 2 and tier 3, but where's the hoodie and pants? That was the 4th attempt. I don't know what else they have to do to get that accepted. Face Punch just doesn't want to. And yeah, that would sell tons. You know people would want that. So, yeah, I don't know. Black Marshall, a brand new collection. No, Face Punch didn't want it. You got a teddy bear set. I mean, even that would have been fine if we saw something, but no. Even the primitive stuff. So, you got peasant stuff. You got, like, VIP. No, none of that. No. I assure you, if people had the choice of what they wanted most, I don't think it would have been cargo heli boots and gloves. So if you're going to sit there and say, oh, but Hedge, they probably want to try and go for the things that would have been like the best profit. No, it wouldn't have been that. It wouldn't have been that. I don't know. Even the sport hoodie and pants, it doesn't have to be camouflage. It could just be funny. I think people probably would like a tracksuit. But anyway, yeah, all of that could have been picked. I've been looking at it for like the past 2 weeks. Even the Commander Vagabond jacket, which is basically like a cape from Warhammer, which look really, really cool. Nope. Nope. So, yeah, that's it. There's your Rustle. So, yeah, I'm not surprised if you don't happen to like it. Don't want to sound mean, but yeah. It's nice to see the collection continuation. Awesome. It's just what could have been. And I probably shouldn't have brought that up to you because now you're aware and now you're upset. I'm so sorry. But that's what it's been like. So, alright. Gotta say though, not surprised about the handmade LMGs. So if we could just scroll up from here. As you'll notice, just this past weekend we only saw 2 handmade LMGs. And then last week we only saw like 2 handmade LMGs, 1 and 2. So if you're gonna be like, oh, how come we only seen like 1 a week? But the beds were seen like 2 a week. We're just not seeing that many options. I think that's the best answer I can give to you. Alright, well, fair enough. There you go. I also thought maybe all the skins were from, like, the previous week again, because last week's skins, we didn't see, like, a single early pick, but with this batch, yes, we did. We did see some early picks, so... Okay. Well, it is what it is. I'm happy to see certain things progress with more skins for the collection. That's nice. It's just, So, feel free to comment below your own opinions, your thoughts. It is what it is. So, what else is there to discuss? Well, of course, we have the kick drops right now. I have found out you can watch the streamers with their very own skins. It still progresses the general drops. So, yep, there you go. I'm about to get the rock. And then after a while, I'll get all the other things. So, alright, that's cool. Twitch used to be like that, but then they made a change and they had to basically watch someone who was streaming but didn't have like their very own skin. You had to watch them specifically to get their general drops, but I guess people would prefer it that way. So, alright, cool. So make sure you get all the drops. You have 10 whole days to do it. It's very easy. It looks like every single streamer is doing 24/7 streams. And yeah, so no ads or anything. Super easy. Shouldn't be a problem. So cool. Next month, Twitch Rivals. Yes, more Twitch drops on the horizon as well. So get all the free skins whilst you can. Plenty of time. Should point out this website isn't updating in terms of the player count, so I can't see the up-to-date numbers. Whoops. But I would assume things are pretty okay at the moment. And I can quickly switch over to here to micro522.com and show you, in terms of like all the skins this week, what were their votes like and what was their overall score. Everything was positive in terms of upvote to downvote, but like a lot of skins didn't even have that many votes. So it's kind of a surprise, yeah, you know, like Cargo Heli, Road Sign Gloves and Boots. They only had, in total, 40 interactions. If I go to micro522.com and look at like the top scoring skins here, you might notice you got skins such as the UFO Sheepman Adore. Again, I thought that was going to be pretty iffy in terms of whether that actually be allowed to be accepted. They had transparency at the bottom and a lot of it, so okay, fair enough. But like, you got the polo hoodie and pants there. What else we got in terms of clothing? In fact, all I've got to do is just click category. Clothing and armor. There we go. Right. Oh, it doesn't do it in terms of score. Or if I were to click it now, would it do it? No, you can't do it that way. Okay, fair enough. But anyway. So, yeah, you've got plenty of interesting clothing and armor pieces here. There you go. Thunder Gold tie-up. Much more interactions. Wasn't accepted. It would be nice to get an explanation for why Face Punch picked some of these skins. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, fair enough. So, micro522.com, linked in the description. You could go see that for yourself. You can see like how all the skins were faring in terms of like interest and whatnot. Sinotype Dropbox, the most recent submission for Sinotype. Lots of interest. So, okay, fair enough. Back over to here then. Shall we go through all these skins and discuss, you know, could they potentially be nice investments? Now, I'm going to go over to Rust Help because that's a little bit more up to date. So, yep. Sinotype Stone, number 15 for the Sinotype collection. And as I've mentioned, there is another skin on the workshop currently and another one potentially to be worked on. It does look like it's going to go all the way up to 17 at the very least. If it keeps the momentum, it will very likely reach 18. I'm not sure if the skin creator actually has enough ideas to keep this going. Again, I'll ask you, what Sinotype ideas would you have if you would like to see the collection to continue? What other things would you like to see being made? Electric box is totally fine. I remember quite some time back I asked for like an aquatics box, something for like boats, with the naval update coming out fairly soon. We kind of know certain things, like maybe some like stuff for a cannon or whatever. Anyway. There is a limit at some point where the skin creator probably just wouldn't know what else to make. A Sinotype food box would, a Sinotype food fridge would be perfect, but obviously not a box, but still would technically be part of the collection. But overall, it's nice to see more. We're expecting probably 2 more, maybe 3, we'll see. There's a problem with boxes DLC. if you've been keeping track of the commits, unfortunately I don't have the link on me right now. Chat, if you could share that with me real quickly. There's mentions of something in regards to a boxes DLC. And it sounds like something that's going to help categorize everything that's in a box. We're not sure if it's going to be like a label that you put on top of your box, so you don't even need to skin it, it'll just tell you what's inside, which would kind of ruin the whole point of like investing and, you know, wanting to get a storage collection. Like if this brand new DLC comes out and sells for only like $15, why would people want to spend like $50 on well, on, for example, like a storage collection? Case in point, Sinotype, which is currently selling for $48, you know, in total. So, oh no, we don't know how long this is going to take to actually be added to the game. But boxes DLC has been mentioned quite a bit, and it looks like it might be something that might appear fairly soon, aka maybe within like the next 2 months, next 2 force wipes, updates and whatnot. So, it's nice to see the Sinotype collection progressing, but now we question, oh, hang on a minute. Are we going to instantly see this brand new DLC coming out just as it finishes and then instantly makes it redundant? So I'll just mention once again, drop boxes right there. That very likely will appear next week in next week's Rustore. But now we question, what's the point? So yes, I wouldn't say it's time to dump. We don't know what it looks like, Sosnick. We don't know if it's just a nice sort of like shelf, for example. It might just be a shelf that you just like categorize everything nicely on display. If anything, that'll make the storage collections actually in demand. But we'll see what it is. If I had the link on me right now, I'd show it to you, but no, I don't have it on me right now. So chat, if you can find that link, it'll be super, super, super helpful. Right, so anyway, back over to here. If we're judging the behavior of this, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we see this sell less than 30,000 subscribers, much like how this ended up selling not that much this current past Rustore. So, yep, as you can see here, Sinotype Wood is now the lowest selling skin of all the Sinotype skins. Some sort of fatigue, I guess you could say. It just suddenly sold less compared to the recent skins. I know we had a gap. We had 3 weeks, and then we got the Sinotype Wood. But I would have thought Sinotype collection would have had a little bit more demand or something. But no, as we reach the end, it looks like the remaining Sinotype skins are going to sell less and less potentially. Keep an eye on this. How in demand is a stone box? Well, just go back to the past. Stone storage. Oh, there you go. Yep, we've got some previous iterations. We have graffiti stone storage, scientific stone storage, and neon stone storage. That is selling for about $5. This is selling for just over $3. This is selling for just over $3. That doesn't sound very in demand. Why? Well, all of these sold for $2.49 as well. Oh, now you go back over to here. Oh, look, $2.49. So, thank you, Silicon. Thank you so much. There you go. So this is what I'm talking about. I should have had it prepared, but yeah. Last worked on about 4 days ago, and with all the work that's already been put into it, it does look like it's going to be something we'll see fairly soon. So, what is it? First initial test for explosives component box. What is an explosives component box? So they've already got like ideas for like certain labels for certain storages. Oh no. So, is it going to be something where you just like make some tags and then you just put it on a box? Do you understand the issues? If we see something for significantly cheaper, it very likely will just make this pointless, along with all the other storage collections. So neon storages might drop in value overnight. Graffiti storage collection, scientific storage collection. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So what I'll do is I'll link this in the description. I've got to keep on holding this now, okay? But that's going to be a bit of a problem. So maybe when we reach January time, if we haven't seen that brand new boxes DLC by then, maybe we need to sell. So keep this in mind. Keep check this link. And now let's hop in game. Give this stone storage a good look. And you can tell me if you like it or not. And here we are on game. Let's get up nice and close. Who'd have guessed? It's got a picture of a stone. Wow. So yeah, pictures of stones on this side. It says stone on that side. S-T-O-N-E. Yep, it's another Sinotype skin. So overall, I mean, it's based, it's exactly what you'd expect. Stonotype, we'll accept that, Nighttime. Get a good look at that as well. So with the lights on, as per usual, it is somewhat reflective. Not super reflective, but somewhat. And then, of course, in total darkness, it's super bright. So that's totally fine. I got no issue. It's just, what's that box's DLC going to be? Am I going to panic and scream? And I try and sleep at night time? We'll see. I'm going broke on Sinotype, guys, and I use barrels every wipe. Oops. Yeah, I'm kind of under the impression a lot of people are kind of fatigued with the whole collection. What I was trying to say a little bit earlier, I was a little bit slow to saying it. The final skins, as we reach the end of Sinotype, will very likely will be selling less and less because people probably have already spent a bunch. They've had tons of barders dumped onto them, like me. Oh, so yeah, we invested in this collection, and now Face Puncher's like, oh, here you go. Let's just completely ruin your investments and whatnot. They sure do know how to make us very, very happy. Yeah. Thank you, Face Punch. Everyone's super pleased right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and showcase the next skin. And here we have the Protector Handmade LMG. The second Handmade LMG skin to be accepted in all of Rust. But I did question this last night when we did the abnormal barders. How often are you even using a Handmade LMG? Oh, yeah, that turned into a bit of a problem. So, we didn't really go pretty bold with the barders last night on the No Mercy Handmade LMG. Obviously with the expectation to see a lot more of these skins being produced and accepted. And of course Twitch drops and kick drops. Yeah, that was, it very likely won't be retaining that price it had last week. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Protector Handmade LMG. And as Mr. Virtual just said, tight welds, yes. A very nicely welded and shiny looking metallic design. Looking very, very cool. So, let's hold it in my hands. Standard sight. Give a nice little reload. Looking pretty sweet. Yeah. So one thing I'm noticing so far is that Face Punch doesn't want to accept any of the handmade LMGs with a transparent aim sight. And let me tell you, there's a lot of them. So, okay, if you're a skin creator, do take that into consideration. So, yeah, not too bad. Nightlight? Well, I mean, sure. Does it stand out at night time at all? Let's just quickly double check. I'll stand over here just to be a little bit more sure. But yeah, I can't see that. Yeah, alright. Nightlight isn't very good with this, unfortunately. So, alright, fair enough. So, let's now go on stage. Let's just see how nice and shiny it is. So, of course, nighttime again. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's nice and shiny. Look at that. Yep. So, okay, looking pretty sweet. And now let's just strike a pose. Look pretty. Yep, very nice and very shiny. But how often do you actually use a handmade LMG? Feel free to comment below. We could have like a little survey. Get some data, because if you don't use it that much, oh dear, that might be a bit of a problem. Yeah. So, yeah, if we don't see that much usage with the actual weapon itself, where's the justification to own skins? And if we see a whole lot more skins being produced, that doesn't help us out either. Like, take for example, with the recent focused items of the month, we just kept seeing more and more skins being accepted, and a lot of those skins haven't really fared very well. Bed skins as well. That was the previous brand new Skinnable for October. Tons of skins are accepted. Only a couple of them are actually in the positive. The rest of them, oh, they're not looking very pretty. So, alright, fair enough. We might have to play it a little bit safe with this. But by all means, if you like what you see, buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support the skin creator. Keep them nice and motivated. Keep putting out nice creative designs in the future. And maybe we'll probably see a transparent aim sight in a handmade LMG at some point. So we'll see, we'll see. Alright then. So, kick HAZMAT right there as well. Make sure you get those kick drops. Do not miss out of this HAZMAT right here. I'd just like to point out, I have a very special video coming out this Saturday showcasing this and comparing it with the Nomad HAZMAT and the Frontier HAZMAT. Some people are kind of like offering some ideas. They're mentioning, hey, how does the Nomad HAZMAT compare to this? How does the Frontier HAZMAT compare to this? Well, I thought, you know what? I'll go do exactly that. I've run around in the open fields. I've changed the nighttime, daytime views and whatnot. I wanted to see what advantages did this HAZMAT have in comparison to the other HAZMATs, and what advantages did the other two have compared to this. So there is some noticeable problems with this, more specifically at night time, but you've got to wait until you see the video on Saturday. And whilst you're at it, consider watching my kick drops video, showcasing all the brand new kick drop skins. And now, let's hop out of here and discuss the handmade LMGs a little bit more. Okay, so Protector Handmade LMG. It's a bit odd because this collection's only consisted of doors in the past. And both of them actually looking pretty good here. Not you so much, unfortunately. But yes, we have one handmade LMG to compare to. Automatically, this is cheaper compared to the No Mercy handmade LMG. Sorry, I'm losing my tongue with this. But yep, back over to here. At the moment, it looks like it's pretty solid, but give it time when more and more and more options appear. And as I said, streamer skins, oh dear, there might be some problems. So we'll keep an eye on the sales. Again, this is abnormal. This is abnormal. We have a lot of abnormal skins this week. I'll just point out last night, as we approached all the skins with the abnormal barders, I looked at the No Mercy HMLMG. I brought up the same concerns. We didn't go very strong with it, as I've already mentioned. But for certain other skins, I actually went ahead and bought some of them. So, yep, last night, we questioned what prices we wanted to offer for all the skins. Last night, I noticed the Sinotype wood. It wasn't selling that much. I thought, you know what? In the past, wood storages have worked out very nicely. I went and bought 20. I'm hoping everything works out ever so nicely with the Sinotype collection, along with all the other storage collections. But yes, I felt more confident with it after we did the abnormal barders. And if you're still new to this, consider watching this video, watch the first 5 minutes, then skip ahead to the actual barders chapter. You'll find out that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the roster even rotates. We get like a very early insight to find out, well, hang on a minute, maybe these skins are actually going to retain their value. Maybe things will actually work out quite all right. So, yeah. Abnormals, super helpful. Consider giving that a good watch. And so back over to here. I'm not feeling very confident, I'm sorry to say. But as I said, if you like it, go for it. But, well, next week, don't be surprised if we see another pretty interesting looking HMLMG being produced, being accepted, and then suddenly everybody prefers that. I should point out, if we go back over to here, there was the Cold Hunter design. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that being accepted at some point this month. It's almost Christmas time, you know, just saying. We've seen a lot of, like, winter and cold theme skins in the past around the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this, especially considering we've seen a Cold Hunter skin being accepted every single year ever since we first saw them. I feel like that's like, it's destiny, it's fate. So, all right, cool. So, more on the way, and they can easily take away the tension that this has. So, all right, cool. Probably better off with just a builder, a cheaper price builder. Right. Small ammo box. This is number 7 for the small props collection, and it's actually progressing very nicely. Now, the prices have been a little bit funny. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. More specifically, cards box and fuel box. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I'll give this a good look, because this was actually in the positive for a while. So I'm talking like recently. So this only has 55 listings on the Steam market, and it's got 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. It's got like 10 to 15 listings below its rush door price. The barders aren't looking very nice, but as I've mentioned, it really does look like we're progressing to an actual proper collection, like Sinotype. Currently that has 15. We've never seen a small box collection go any higher than 5. This is currently at 7. I honestly think we're going to go all the way. So to all those people that might have been worrying about, like, oh no, we might see another storage collection after Sinotype. Never would we have thought, like, of a DLC Face Punch would make themselves. But anyway, if it's going to be a small box collection, it won't really affect this that much. So, okay. Small box collection, the first of its kind. And yet people probably haven't even realised it's a proper collection. So, probably give it another couple more. Maybe people might notice then. And also, this proposed boxes DLC probably won't affect this. Maybe it will. Maybe the boxes DLC might be small boxes. Did you even consider that? So who knows what this is going to be, but could it affect both of them? Or only one of them? Large box collections or small box collections? What will it be? We've got to wait and see. But if it is a small box collection, I probably wouldn't be so, like, upset for Sinotype then. So back over to here. Small ammo box. Alright, cool. Not going to complain about this. There was 2 versions. Only one was accepted. Chances are the other one might have been removed now. But I just want to also mention, oh, it's the version 2. Okay. Yeah, just want to point out, Sulphur Box has just been submitted. And if you have any ideas for this collection, if you want to see something being made, feel free to comment below. The skin creator, he does read the comments. He does like to see what you want to say. Like, so if you were to sit there and say, oh, I want a Deplorables box, which a lot of people keep saying for some reason, well, he'll probably make it. So, you know, say it right now. What would you like to see being made next? Offer your opinions. Go. Weapon attachments. You know what? That would actually be a great idea. Quite a lot of people do mention that as well. Weapon attachments would be a pretty cool idea. Human meat box. You have problems. Right, anyway, so over to here. I think it's going to probably do okay, so as long as we see more. But when do you think it will actually end? Is it going to go all the way up to 15, for example? Or is it going to randomly stop at 10? Also, we have Christmas in the way, don't we? Cool. How many more rush doors until then? So if we were to do the math, let's go do it now. So I'm looking. So we got another rush door next week. So we've got 2 more for this month, and I think we got like 3 in December. So we might only go up to like 12 or 13 maybe. But then afterwards, like we did have this with Sinotype collection. We went through Halloween, you know, but it returned after Halloween. So maybe it won't be too much of a concern. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. So okay, cool, fair enough. Small ammo box. We'll keep an eye on the sales as well. One thing I didn't point out, we just had the T-box, right? It ended up almost being the lowest selling skin. That was actually a big surprise. I honestly thought a lot of people would like want an actual T-theme box, but didn't sell that much. Almost sold less compared to the small diving box, but only by about 300 subscribers. Okay, still not that many, and I still think that might work out all right. And I did buy 20 of them, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But let's hop in game. Give the ammo box a good look at the very least, and then afterwards we can talk about that garage door. Time for ammo! And it doesn't glow like all the other small props collection skins. So we'll see that in a second, don't you worry. This right here is the ammo box. A perfectly fine sort, like it's like a metal tin sort of design, which is pretty sweet. So alright, looking pretty cool. But what I should say is, this doesn't glow. But if you were to put out like all the small props, small boxes, all lined up with each other, they would stand out compared to each other because they all have a different colour. So one thing that we just discussed, I just mentioned it with the chat, we still are yet to see like an orange box, a purple box, and a pink box. So if you had an idea for this small props collection, what would work best for pink, purple, and orange? Feel free to comment below. And like I said, if you yourself have an idea for what would be perfect for a small box, feel free to comment below. We literally just had someone sit there and say weapon attachments. Make that the pink box. Go on, my Gwen. Do it. Do it. Do it. Anyway, let's now go ahead and get a good look at this at night time. So first of all, we'll keep the lights on. Yes, indeed we will. Yep. And instantly you'll notice it doesn't appear to glow in the dark whatsoever. So, yeah. Somewhat reflective, but it definitely does not glow. And to prove that, let's turn off the lights as well. So, total darkness. And, well, there you go. No glow. So that might be a bit of a concern with some people. Just get some lights. Add some electricity. To be honest with you, an electricity box probably wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Maybe that might work for orange. The Gwemp, it's in your hands. Keep up the good work. And I'm sure we could see this flourish at some point in the future. And next up, we have the Forge Garage Door, which I can confirm is the 35th garage door skin to be accepted in 2025, which is now a record-breaking amount. Which is a big concern. What's wrong with that? We have far too many garage doors. Oh, okay, yeah. So last year with the record-breaking amount, and the year before that we had the record-breaking amount, and the year before that with the record-breaking amount. So I'm sure you can understand the issues with garage doors. We have far too many options. It looks cool. Props to the skin creator, Mr. Duck, but yeah, there are issues. So, first of all, let's just give this a good look at night time. Yep, so that. It appears to be somewhat reflective with the lights right next to it. Looking very cool. And of course, in total darkness, and you might notice I have the second one rolled up right next to it. That's to emphasize the point that when it's rolled up, it does glow in the dark. That's a very nice and noticeable glow in the dark garage door that I think a lot of people greatly appreciate. But if you were to sit there and tell me, Hedge, do I think this would probably, like, you know, retain its value? I think we might end up seeing a whole lot more garage doors. Don't forget, we have Christmas, and there's usually always a Christmas garage door being accepted. So whilst this might be pretty interesting right now, are you aware we have Twitch rivals, Twitch drops in about a month? And then another thing in January? Well, that's to be expected. So, oh no. There will be more garage doors. And now, we question, well, what happens with this then? Unfortunately, it'll very likely end up like most garage doors this year. Down in price. Oh, well, oh no. Yeah, I'm sorry to say. So unless this gets turned into a collection, which I'm not sure. I mean, like, could you get, like, Forge chair made or something? I don't know. Forged bed, I guess. Duck's quite creative. He's made a lot of very interesting collections in the past. It's just, I don't trust garage doors. If he made like a, I don't know, a sheet metal door, oh, beautiful. And you know what? I'd like to see that happen. Duck, make it. But yeah, we'll see what happens next, right? Keep an eye on the workshop. Maybe he does like turn it into a collection. But it's just far too many garage doors. So let's hop out of here. Look at all the garage doors that have been accepted so far this year, and you'll see it for yourself. there's problems. Goodbye. Okay, garage doors. So let's just go show you this. And as you'll notice, number 35 in 2025, and pretty much every single skin down in price. Even the recent Anime Girl garage door for Halloween, down 23%. Ooh. And Skellalister, down 48%. Ooh. Twitch drops. It's madness. We just keep seeing far too many. Every single one, except one, down pretty bad, unfortunately. Now, Neon Lunar Serpent garage door, only down slightly. Popstar garage door, only down slightly. But still, loads of them down real bad. The majority of them down to about half their price. This is what happens when you just keep seeing tons of them being accepted. So last year, a record-breaking amount, 34. And then the year before that, 2023, we got 28 of them accepted. And the year before that was 28. We just keep seeing more and more and more every single year. So it's not a surprise to see all of them pretty much struggling. Now, with more Skinnables being introduced to Rust, there is the theory that maybe we'll see more variety with Rust doors. We'll see less garage doors being accepted, and AK-47s, and SAR skins. Do you get the idea? Maybe we could start seeing them recover a fair bit because we don't see them as much. Or maybe Face Monster will just keep, accepting garage doors regardless. And AK-47s. Oh. We'll see how it goes, but if you like what you saw, and by all means, it was a very nice, bright, glow-in-the-dark design, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people did like and appreciate, go grab them for yourself. Maybe we will see a nice a nice brand new collection continuation. The introduction to an actual interesting, cool-looking Forge collection. I mean, who knows? Keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this next weekend. We'll see what happens next, all right? So, let's move on from that. Let's talk about the Black Diamond L96. Last week, we had a very cool-looking Abyss L96, which looked very, very nice. But when I looked at it and saw it was priced at $3, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to retain its price. I don't think it'll be nice and profitable. It is the focused item of the month. We will see more L96s after this one. But I've got to say, what a very nice looking L96 this one is. Black Diamond Collection has had some very nice looking skins being accepted. The clothing and the armor, it's still appreciated. Even though it sold quite a lot, it's still appreciated. The weapons, they have dropped off a fair bit, unfortunately. Maybe around January time we'll see them progress a bit. Got to point out that Black Diamond AK-47 is still like evens. It's not like dropped in price, just saying. But this L96, I'm sorry to say, I can't help but assume it's going to struggle. Now, maybe it doesn't sell that much. At the moment, it's only got like just barely over 1,000 subscribers. But let's see it have a full week in the Rust store first. Then we'll question it a bit more. Yeah, there will be more, as I said. Keep an eye on the workshop. You will see a lot of L96 skins being submitted. And for the past 2 weeks, we have seen quite a lot, I will say. But they're not very nice investments in general. And also, we got the Trainwreck's kick drop right now. A lot of people can get that for absolutely free. They're going to probably think, you know what, I don't need to get another one. Down 10% already. And then early this year, Polymer L96, down 7. Ice Supreme, down 45. Redemption, down 7. To be honest with you, some of those skins aren't doing too bad, but yeah, down 52. We want to see something nice and profitable, but it's another L96 at $3. Is the next one going to be $3 as well? And the one after that? Probably not, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to see more. It's going to be a problem. So do not be surprised if it drops off. But maybe it does work out quite nicely in the future. We'll see. Just want to quickly point this out once more. Out of all the skins, we do have one in the positive here and one in the positive here. Blackout. Black Diamond, of course, is an alternative budget option compared to Blackout. Maybe it actually might work out. And with what you're about to see in a second, it does look very, very nice. So, why don't we go hop in? Give it a good look right now. You can tell me whether you like it or not. Train is building up a very interesting batch of streamer skins. And as I mentioned, that brand new L96 is right there. Completely free. Just spend 2 hours of your time watching him on Kick. That could be yours. Now, it could be a bit of a problem for our brand new Black Diamond L96. Here I am, still wearing the Kick HAZMAT. And my goodness, that is a very exquisite specimen right there. I'm not surprised to see it's listed at $3. That is some lovely looking work right there. A diamond encrusted design on this ever so lovely looking shiny Black Diamond L96. But considering people can get for free a brand new L96 regardless, like, are they really feeling the need to go ahead and get this right now? Perhaps that could actually lead to this to not actually getting that many sales, which actually could help it out quite alright. Because I should remind you, the Abyss L96, that did like 20,000 subscribers. So maybe it could actually work out quite alright. We'll see, we'll see. What's your first opinion? Feel free to comment below. Do you like what you see here? Let me hold up my hands. That is looking very, very nice. Give it a nice little reload. Looking very, very pretty. Yeah. Give it a nice little inspection as well. Lovely stuff. Right. Nighttime look. Right. Does it stand out? Not really, no. Okay. Night light isn't the best for this. But then again, you're just going to use you're going to use like a sight with it anyway, aren't you? So, alright, fair enough. So, at the very least, I think what we need to do is also go ahead and put a sight on it. And here we are with the scope. Looking very, very nice, yes. Hold it in my hands. Give it a nice little inspection. Aim down. What are you expecting? Yep. Spying on the neighbours. What are they up to? Ooh, who knows? Give that nice little reload. Looks fine to me. So, yep, feel free to comment below what your thoughts are. Let's go turn off the lights. Does it reflect much? Oh, yes, it does. That looks very nice and shiny. Strike pose. So, I think that's a very nice looking L96. I'm just concerned because it's an L96. But hey, if there was to be one that everybody was to appreciate, what do you reckon? Could this be the one? A very nice looking specimen. A lovely looking skin. Now I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see some more Black Diamond skins be produced in the future. I'm telling you, do not be surprised if we see some Black Diamond tactical gloves next month. When we see the tactical gloves becoming skinnable. This is absolutely roasting this bed. Dear God. So yes, it's the return of the Molten Visage collection. That's actually an awesome looking design right there. To be honest with you, I'm actually quite impressed. Oh, shut up, boat. Anyway, yeah, look at that. It's looking pretty cool. Transparency, but only the cover. Like, I have seen, like, a lot of designs with, like, you know, the cover completely removed. I'm sure we've already had some accepted already. But the way they've utilised it to make, like, the logo stand out, I mean, that's actually really clever. Props to Skin Creator. That's actually an awesome looking skin. Now, let me tell you, we're expecting a lot more beds. And judging by a certain tweet from Mr. WIlljum, we might be getting a Twitch Rivals bed. I'm pretty sure that might be the case. So if you're looking at this and thinking, oh wow, that looks nice, do be aware with the amount of like bed skin submissions we're seeing every single week, and I even made a short video talking about this, it's getting pretty ridiculous. So very cool looking skin, and if you like it, by all means go ahead, buy it, support the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated, keep want to put nice creative designs in the future. I wouldn't say no to some more thank you, boat. I wouldn't say no to some more Molten Visage deplorables. What would you like to see being made next? What would you like to see being made with this collection? And of course, let's just get a good look at this at night time. First of all, let's keep the lights on. So is anything reflective here? From what I can see, does look nice though. So let's now go ahead and make it total darkness. There you go. So that is a super standout looking design. I think a lot of people will be appreciating this. I have asked this quite a lot as of recent. Do you need to have your bed skins being glowing in the dark? Like, does it matter? Are you desperate for it? Or do you actually, like, not even care that much? It stands out ever so nicely. I do believe a lot of people like it. Is it going to hold its price? We should keep an eye on the sales. It is abnormal, so we do have that advantage. But will the sales pick up towards the end of the week? We're going to have to wait and see. I don't think that's random. I do believe that's a strong hint for Twitch Rivals December 2025, okay? It looks really cool. I do think a lot of people want to chase after that, especially for getting it for absolutely free, which is a concern because, of course, this bed right here, it costs $2.99. It's a $3 skin. Oh, boy. Okay, well, first of all, let's just look at all the bed skins, and, okay, give it a week. Will these two probably go down in price? It wouldn't surprise me. Horror bed is slowly going down in price. Tomb bed has gone below its restore price. Neon bed has also gone below its restore price. Not a surprise. With brand new Skinnables, this is what we expect. Constant brand new skins being produced and accepted. With beds, oh yeah, for sure, that's definitely been the case. Could this be the brand new backpack? What do I mean by that? Well, last year, November 2024 to November 2025, we have seen 39 large backpack skins being accepted, and of course Twitch drops. So, yeah, quite the concern. If we constantly keep seeing more and more and more bed skins being accepted, much like what we just talked about with the garage doors, yeah, that'll very likely get lost in the shuffle. Sorry to say, it does look awesome, but with so many options, you know, in Rust doors, especially kick drops and Twitch drops, yeah, big concern. And right now, a lot of people are getting the Pan Pots bed for absolutely free. So, yeah. Could we actually see this not sell that much? And again, it's number 6 so far in terms of like overall position. It's not very high. If it is a calm week, that very likely might be working out all right. Let's say this only reaches about, I don't know, maybe like 10 to 15,000 subscribers. Okay, that would be pretty interesting. But, you know, you can't get a solid guess right now. It's only been 2 hours. So, alright, fair enough. Feel free to comment below. Did you like what you saw? Feel free to comment below. Right then, so we'll push that aside. Let's now talk about the Popstar M249. So, I have seen this happen before. When we see a Popstar weapon skin being accepted, I've noticed the AK rise up a bit. I've noticed the Thompson rise up a bit. Not the LR. You're an LR 300. Nobody will love you. But yes, the AK. This has actually been one of the AK-47s that actually is in the positive. And right now, as I look at it, it is down a fair bit. But you're looking at about 10 sales and it's back up to its Rust store price again. Don't be surprised if that happens around January time, okay? It's been like this before. It'll very likely dig itself out of its hole again in the future. So, alright, cool. Give it a month or so. So, okay. Another weapon skin has been accepted. In the past, this has been in the positive. Right now, this is in the positive. In the past, this has also been evens in the positive. But, right now, not so much. So, with the Popstar M249, a very nice addition. But it's the problem with the handmade LMG that we kind of insinuated. How often do you actually get to use an M249? Oh. What do you mean? Well, look at all the skins. Oh, okay. Down 29, down 46, down 68, down 57, down 36, down 43, down 30, down 31. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah. So you probably got the hint that maybe people don't use these enough, and with the justification to own skins. Now, I'll hand it over. I'll hand it to Mr. RR3. He's done a very nice design, and with this particular design, we've actually got more art from the anime girl. So, okay, more of the Popstar art. That's lovely to see. Now, if it doesn't sell that much, okay, maybe it could actually work out quite all right. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm thinking it's going to probably sell a decent amount. It wouldn't surprise me. $2.49. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops off, especially with what we just saw a second ago of all the other M249s that have been accepted somewhat recently. They've been down pretty bad. So, at the very least, we'll hop in game, we'll give it a good look. But I am concerned. I am worried. So, yeah, all right, let's hop in. And here we are. Look at that. A very bright and colourful design. I should point out the brand new art is just over to here. Look at that. Very cute. Right then, so, what do you think? How often do you even use an M249? Well, I've got to be honest with you. I already know the answer because we've seen quite a lot of these skins being accepted over time. Unfortunately, with what we've already seen, they do not hold their value because it very much insinuates, or it looks as if that people just aren't using it that much. So where's the justification to own skins? Therefore, prices, they drop off. Who knows? Maybe we'll see some changes in the future, but yeah, I do worry for this. Now, I hold it in my hands and, yeah, a very nice cyan blue choice of the aim sight. We've already had a few skins being accepted this year, and of course a Twitch drop. In fact, it's right over there. The Trainwrecks M249. A lot of people have already got that for absolutely free. So, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. I don't think it'll be retaining its value. But I kind of wouldn't be surprised if this might be the one that performs a little bit better compared to all the other ones. Again, it's an anime girl design, and they do tend to work out quite alright usually. So, alright, fair enough. Shoot. Reload. Looking perfectly fine to me. And of course, how does it look at night time? Well, let's go ahead and find out. So, does it stand out? Is the night light good for this? I've got to say, I do see it. I see the body, I see the ammo, and I do see the aim sight right there. It's not super clear, but I can see it quite nicely, yeah. Alright, well, fair enough. That's looking pretty cool. Let's go over to here. How reflective are you? Not very. It's like somewhat shiny, but not super reflective. So, okay, fair enough. Striker pose, look pretty. So, at the end of the day, it still very likely will go below its restore price. But if it doesn't sell that much, it could recover, and it could be the one. The one M249 to be accepted in fairly recent times that actually manages to stay in the positive and actually become a pretty interesting looking investment. What weapon skin would you like to see being made next as a Popstar skin? I mean, well, Handmade LMG probably would be like a pretty good shout. We'll see. But yeah, what would you like to see being made next? Feel free to comment below. And what do we have here? That is a very cool looking wooden door. Now, do you remember the very nice looking Halloween bearskin rug I submitted a few weeks back, but unfortunately wasn't accepted? I made a short video, quite a lot of people saw it and responded. Well, that's the same skin creator right here. And I've got to say, I think he could probably turn that into a bearskin rug. He did a very good job for Halloween. I think you could turn it into like a pretty interesting Wendigo sort of design. What do you reckon? All the branches, the twigs, the bits of wood that looks like bones. What do you reckon? Would you like to see something like that? Don't see that many bearskin rugs, and it would look pretty creepy. Now, how's this look at night time? Oh, we got the lights on. It definitely made the wood, or the skull, I should say, stand out a little bit better there. Looking pretty sweet, but it doesn't seem to reflect that much. Okay, fair enough. Right then, total darkness, pretty please. Take a look at that. That looks awesome. Now, on the other side, because of course wooden doors do have two different sides, yep, that also happens to glow very nicely. That looks awesome. So, what do you think? Well, I can tell you this, it's a wooden door. It won't go up in price. That's a bit straightforward, Hedge. Well, it's the truth. Unfortunately, wooden doors are not appreciated that much. You'd only use them for such a certain amount of time. They tend to drop off pretty quickly. They always usually go down to like less than 90 cents. In fact, we'll go take a look in a second. Do not be surprised if you see pretty much every single wooden door that's been submitted and accepted in the past like 5 years in the negative pretty badly. So, it looks amazing. It's an awesome looking design, but we just take one quick look at all the wooden door skins that are accepted in the past 5 years. Down 47, down 69, down 59, down 59, down 64, down 71, down 53, down 71, down 63, down 68, down 52, down 64, down 65, down 36, down 44, down 56, down, point made. Yeah, unfortunately, they all go down in price. I think you understand. I think you realise, yes. So, yeah, unfortunately, I just don't feel confident. Now, if it were anything else, alright, cool, I look forward to it. But like I said, if he actually turned this into, like a bearskin rug, I think that would be amazing. And I actually asked him, did he respond? And, yeah. After a bed. Oh, everybody wants to make a bed. So, alright, we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, I'm sure you get the, I'm sure you understand wooden doors just do not hold up. Now, by all means, if you like that, go ahead, support the skin creator. Keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice, very cool looking designs. Maybe he considers doing a wooden double door. If that was a wooden double door, that would be, oh, that'd be amazing. But yeah, it's not. So yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll have to leave it at that. Moving on, Fort Thompson. So we just had the Fort AK-47, and I did think it looked. I did think it looked pretty cool. It looked very shiny, but I also kind of had to be a little bit more realistic. Just because I thought it looked nice doesn't necessarily mean everybody else would. It's gone down in price, so yeah, not too surprising. Now, if you bought it because you liked it, that was a treat for yourself. Don't be upset. But yeah, we played it pretty safe with that when we looked at it last night. It was an abnormal skin for the previous week. It has dropped off. Now, one thing you might have noticed just a second ago, we just looked at the Popstar collection, didn't we? The prices of these weapons did drop off, but that Thompson's doing pretty sweet. I have noticed this with quite a lot of like weapon collections. The Thompson tends to be just it tends to be a little bit better. Seems to actually retain its value quite nicely. So in this particular instance, especially with the expectation that we're not going to see that high sales this week, maybe it doesn't sell too much. There's a fairly decent chance this might be the one that might actually like do a pretty good job of like retaining its value, maybe even going up in the positive, you know. So it's looking interesting. How about we go and game, give it a good look. If it looks just as good compared to the AK-47 we saw the previous week, for this particular skin, I think this one might actually do quite all right. So let's go hop and game, give it a good look, and you can tell me whether you like it or not. And here we are in game. What do you reckon, huh? That's a very nice shiny looking design. I think quite a lot of people will be appreciating this, so props to the skin creator. He's done a pretty good job. Yes, indeed he has. Gemstone, looking very, very pretty. This Fort Thompson, well, opinions please, feel free to comment below. Looking pretty sweet. Let's now hold it in my hands. Red aim sight, looking quite shiny as well when you aim down and move around. Shoot, reload. That's looking very, very nice. Nighttime look. Aiming down. But the night, oh yeah, that's not very good, unfortunately. I can vaguely see it, but it's like super noticeable, unfortunately. I think there might be some concerns there. So, okay, fair enough. On stage, looking reflective. Not sure if that's like a good thing, but you can tell me if you like that or not. And then we pose. That is a very nice looking Thompson. So, based on what we just discussed, do you reckon this Thompson will actually do a... Yeah, could it end up not selling that much and having a bit of a turnaround compared to the other skins? With this actually being in the positive, what do you reckon? Fault weapons, unfortunately, so far have not like done very well in terms of retaining their value. They have sold quite a lot. People do apparently like them, but then, you know, afterwards... Apparently they don't care enough for them to buy them again, so... Could this be the one that changes it all? I honestly would like to see some armour. I think some deplorables with this design would actually work out quite right as well. What ideas do you have? Feel free to comment below. And now, let's go ahead and showcase the next skin. I thought I'd save the boots and gloves for last, so I'm going to skip ahead. Showcase the AK-47... The Brain Drain AK-47. I got to hand it to Himmick. That's a pretty funny, goofy design. What do you reckon? I reckon he's going to actually try and turn this into a collection because he actually intends to do a SAR next. So keep it on his workshop over the course of this weekend. That's looking pretty sweet. It's a nice looking skin. Right then. Let's now hold it in my hands. Standard aim sight, no transparency. Hot colours, which kind of look like they might stand out quite nicely. Aim down. Reload. Not bad. Nighttime, please. Does it have good night light? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I can vaguely see it. Like, it's not super obvious, but it is there. Like, when I first see it, I can't lose it now. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. Not too bad. All right then. Over to here. Strike a pose. What do you reckon? I like the art. I think it looks awesome. But at $2, and with this being one of the skins that's not abnormal, I don't know, I'm not feeling too confident. Now, this year, I don't think we have like a record-breaking amount of AK-47s, but we still have seen quite a lot of them. Yeah, I'm sure you'd agree. With more potential weapon skinnables on the horizon, was the SKS, was the nail gun. With more weapon skinnables potential on the horizon, could we start seeing less AK-47 skins? Could they end up being treated as a more special, like, surprise? I honestly thought the only way for, like, AK-47 skins to recover would be if they, like, only accepted one a month. But it'd have to be very special. I mean, hey, that might work. So anyway, that's a perfectly fine looking AK. But at $2, is it actually going to retain its price? Or is it going to end up like most AK-47s? AK-47, sorry, I said that weirdly. Where it ends up going down to about half its price and stuck at around barely $1. And for last, cargo heli boots and gloves. So let's get a good look at the Vodafone gloves here. In the other skins we've seen like transparency. This one, I guess you can with like the actual material there for the actual hands. I mean, sure, I respect it. Yep, all right then. That's a nice little touch. What about the boots? Do they have any transparency? I think what he's done is he's got like the actual boot, but he's added like a... how do I say this? The visual of like metal all around it. So it still has that sort of effect of it looks like it's transparent, but it's not really, so... Okay, fair enough. That's a perfectly fine looking approach. So with the arrival of these boots and gloves today, I can confirm I did notice the kilt getting bought out, because of course we have had the Cargo Heli Tier 2 in the past. But that was it really, just the kilt. And then after that more listings appeared, and it looks like it's pretty much at the same price it was before. We'll have to go check it out in a second as well, but why don't we go ahead and put the Tier 2 on as well? Okay, here you go, here's the Tier 2. So of course what I was referencing with the transparency, you can see there with the coffee can, you can see it on the vest, you can even see it on the roadside kilt. We still need like hoodie and pants and Tier 3, so like how do you make hoodie and pants work? What do you reckon? You can't make it look metallic, which this obviously looks like, which might be a bit of concern. Would you like add chain link mesh for the hoodie and pants? Or that might be a bit rough on the skin, but is that how they probably approach it? That'd be a very weird transparent design for hoodie and pants. But yeah, Tier 3, I think Tier 3 will be fairly easy. The chest plate, the face mask, again, you could just like make the face mask look quite like this, so I don't think it'd be too hard, but yes. These boots and gloves, they do need something else to come out to give it a boost. They do need more, so okay, fair enough. Jacket probably would be alright, but more specifically, hoodie and pants and Tier 3, that's what we need more. So okay, fair enough. It does look nice, but we still need more. And how does it look at night time as well? Let's go ahead and find out. So, the lights on can point out the Tier 3 is somewhat reflective. The gloves are somewhat reflective, not super reflective though, just to point that out. Boots, how you doing? Are you reflective? Not really. Not really, not super in your face. So, okay, fair enough. And then there's still going to be people like, oh, does it glow in the dark? Well, okay. No, it doesn't. None of it glows, there's no concerns, there's no worries, so okay, fair enough. Let's hop out of here. Talk about, like, could the boots and gloves even match up to the sales that the Tier 2 did? And then, you know, question, could we actually see collection continuations in the future that could give the boots and the gloves a nice boost? Turns out, in the end, boots and gloves ended up being the lowest selling skins regardless, so okay, fair enough. Thought Thompson, you did look cool. With all due respect, I think you might work out quite alright. We've got to keep an eye on the sales. With that being abnormal, we'll use that time to our advantage. Let's see what the sales look like on Wednesday. We'll discuss prices because, of course, every Wednesday I'm on my stream on Twitch. So look in the description. You'll see links to all my socials in the description. More specifically, my Twitch link. Next Wednesday, we'll sit there. We'll figure out prices. It is looking pretty sweet. Brain Drain AK-47. If you don't sell that much, you probably could turn around and be pretty interesting. But after a few hours, you've already had over 1,000 subscribers. We'll keep an eye on you. You do look cool. We want to see if there is a collection continuation and a workshop over the course of this weekend as well. But if you liked it, by all means, go ahead and grab one for yourself. Nick does make quite a lot of very interesting skins. It's just, could it develop into more? We'll have to wait and see. And then the Cargo Heli boots and gloves. Well, let's just go over to here. So if I could just close this. Have we seen any more? Well, there you go. Cargo Heli isn't on the front page. People didn't care that much, which is a shame, but I did at least notice the kilt was bought out, as I've mentioned. So there you go. It's sitting here at a price of like $3, and you can see like, so yep, it did happen. Is it going to last? I highly doubt it. I don't think it's going to last forever. So yeah, look at that. So the big buyout here was only 19, and that was about a week or so ago. And now, as you can see here, it's only about double. So it looks like only about 40 of them got bought. Yeah, 49. There you go, 49. So yeah, I don't think that'll last. I think it'll go back down to where it was. So, okay, fair enough. It's not like terrible. It's just, I just don't assume it's going to be perfect until we see more of it being made. And with the Cargo Heli boots being accepted fairly quickly, let's just refresh here as well. Honestly, give it time. I think it could be okay, but looking over to here, the Tier 2 only did between 9,400 to, well, that's it. It's like 9,500 subscribers. This does look like it'll match up with this. At the moment, though, that very likely will be selling less. We'll see, okay? If these two only end up doing like, I don't know, like 7,000 subscribers, okay, that probably won't matter too much, but what would Tier 3 and hoodie pants look like? if it were to happen. We certainly do hope, but how long did it take for this, you know, the boots and gloves to actually be made since the tier 2? Like a year? So let's just quickly showcase this to you as well. This was accepted August 2024. This was accepted November 2025. I don't feel like waiting until 2027, early 2027, until we see like tier 3 or hoodie pants. So I probably will just stick with a lowball barter in these and then move on with my life. We've got to see what Mr. Vlek wants to do next. But if he doesn't make continuations fairly soon, I'm not feeling confident. So there you go. That's it. That's a wrap. That's everything in regards to the skins with this Rust store. So once again, I'll ask you, what's your most favourite skin with this Rust store? You might go with like a fairly safe option like the stone box, but I'm not talking about investments. I'm talking about what did you think was the best looking, interesting skin for this week. So yeah. Right then, what things do we need to discuss? So I have to mention this. Player count, it looks like it was doing pretty okay, but again, this isn't really, this is broken. It was looking pretty okay. If we match up to October, I'm not going to complain. It's December where we truly think some very interesting things are about to happen. Naval update, and then the end of the month, lots of people around the world, time off, Christmas time, you get the idea. So, okay, fair enough. It's looking okay. I could go like Rust, look up Rust player count on Steam as well, but I just got to focus. So, okay, fair enough. On the workshop, I've got to point this out to you. Yes, we're starting to see tactical gloves being submitted, but Christmas skins as well. Tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be around because I'm going home to see family. But tomorrow, we are expecting Christmas skins. The contest is going to be uploaded and, you know, the collection and whatnot. We'll very likely see the first Christmas skin ever to be submitted. Do not be surprised if it's Shedmon. He's always first. So if I could just quickly show the official Rust skin making Discord. It's just over to here. And you can see the announcement from TGG himself, that German guy. Christmas contest. There you are. We're going to start seeing Christmas skins now. Big surprise. It's November. Duh. So with the absurd amount of Halloween skins being submitted, do you reckon we'll see over 300 Christmas skins this year? I wouldn't be surprised, but I've got to point this out to you. Christmas skins are slowly being bought out at the moment. I have noticed prices improving. In fact, I've noticed a lot of prices improving regardless. So if you were to go ahead and look at the whiteout hoodie, for example, right now, you might notice, hang on a minute, it's actually starting to improve. Yeah. $19 at the moment. Scroll. In the grand scheme of things, it's still down compared to where it was in the summer, but it's nowhere near January yet, right? You got to wait at least another month and a half, and you will very likely see that go even higher, all right? We peaked at what, like $19-ish, pushing up to $20 almost back in the summer. Well, I'll be honest with you, we're already back up to it. We've already dipped. We've already passed the worst of it. It's already getting close to where it was in the summer. It's looking pretty interesting, okay? So, all right, fair enough. If you did not buy all of the skins you truly wanted, like around the end of October, you probably missed out picking up everything for the cheapest price, but you could still pick up some of these skins, right? And then you'll still very likely see them rise up even higher, okay? So for camouflage skins, that would be more correct. But for other skins in general, not every single skin's going up in price, but we are starting to notice like the more in-demand skins. So we usually see that happen first. So as you can see here, Heatseeker MP5, tons of listings. It did 60,000 subscribers, absolutely absurd. But look what happened as of recent. And as you'll see, let's just high liquidity. It dipped down to absolute worst of it around the middle of October, but since then it's rising. So it might not be absurdly going up instantly, but it will take its time. And we will probably see it, surpass the price we saw back in July time, and it'll probably reach up to about $4 maybe around January time. Again, whilst it sold an absolutely absurd amount, nothing compares to this. There's no Twitch drop, kick drop, or anything that compares to the amount of transparency this has. So it will slowly go up in price regardless. Absurd numbers of sales, but the demand is there. Until we see something that challenges it, it will just keep going up in price. So maybe consider it. It's up to you. So alright then, go look at inventories, look at all the skins. You will notice improvement. It's not huge and insane at the moment, but it should be nice, slow, progressively increasing, better and better as we get closer and closer to January time, okay? So that's the expectation. Cool. Okay, so yeah, whilst I was recording all this, there you go. I can claim my rock now. Yep, there you go. And yep, Spoon Kid Armored Door. The first Armored Door skin to be introduced to Rust in all of 2025. That's absolutely absurd. So, a lovely batch of skins, but if you want to see a good look at all of them, if you don't know what they actually look like, well, I have the video for you. Yep. Everything is chaptered. It's all there, including a very nice showcase of that HAZMAT, okay? Now, I've mentioned it earlier already. I've made a video that'll be out on Saturday, so by the time you're watching this, it'll be the next day. I compare the Kick HAZMAT, the Nomad HAZMAT, the Frontier HAZMAT. About 25 minutes just constantly comparing them and whatnot. And I've got to be honest with you, to get that for absolutely, like, completely free is absolutely absurd. So if you're questioning if you wanted to even bother getting it and whatnot, like, listen, it's too good to pass up. You might not want to get a Kick account. Just make a dud account. You know, just random email, dud account. You don't have to go back into it. You don't have to commit to it. Just don't miss out on that, okay? So even in this video, I'll give you a decent showcase. Again, chapter, skip ahead if you want to. You're more than welcome to do so. But that right there, it's... Oh, even the short video I have for it, it's amazing, okay? 8 hours of your time. Watch anyone streaming Rust on Kick. It's super easy. You can just watch the streamers and you get progress for it as well. So, yeah, it's up to you. Now, to all the people out there that keep asking me, Hedge, what should I do with my Steam wallet if I've made tons of profit and whatnot? And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are going to be asking me that around January time. Well, I should just quickly go ahead and point something out. Oh, look at that. Valve just announced brand new hardware. Oh, look at that. A brand new Steam machine and Steam controller. Oh, wow. And a brand new VR headset. Wow. Oh, no. It turns out it's only available for certain countries in the world at the moment. Oh, no. Imagine that. A lot of people who really want to get this brand new hardware who isn't in the USA and Canada and the UK and Germany and France and Australia and Japan and South Korea and Taiwan and Hong Kong. God, no. Imagine if you're like Dutch, you're from the Netherlands, and you can't just get one straight from Valve. Oh, they're going to have to look at somewhere else to somehow acquire one of these brand new pieces of hardware. Oh, that might be pretty hard. If only there was some people out there that could supply to them some of this hardware. So, yeah, you know. So, yeah, it's all linked there. Steam controller, the brand new Steam machine. Like, yeah, I think a lot of people might be chasing after it. And, you know, just a nice bit of information to be aware of. So I'll link that in the description as well if you want to take a look at that. Just to point out, the Steam machine apparently is actually pretty good. The only issue with it, it's only got 8 gigs of RAM. Only 8 gigs of RAM. Oh, dear. But then again, have you looked at RAM prices recently? So, yeah. For what it is, not too bad, but I don't think you might want to play that with Rust. You know, play Rust in it. Right, I'll be back over to here. So, yep, that's all nice and sorted. All the Kick drops currently available, and I think you can start seeing some people starting to pick them up as well. So if you go to kick.facepunch.com, you can see which ones are being picked up more. Looks like the least picked up one at the moment is the Thompson. So, okay, well then. Pump Shotgun's been chased after. What else you got that's been doing very well for itself? I would have thought the Armored Door would be doing very good, and it is the second best, so... Alright, fair enough. Not too bad. Apparently one person has actually managed to claim the HAZMAT suit. I was just telling my chat earlier, chances are it was just them testing it out. So, yeah, one special tested out HAZMAT suit was being given away. Oh no, oh wow. So, yeah, okay, cool. Remember, 10 days to get all the stuff. Not hard, super easy. So, have at it. Get it. Time to wrap up the video. Like I always say, if you want to stay up to date with all the potential brand new content that could be added to Rust, keep an eye on the commits. It's always linked in the description of these Rust rotation videos. Lots of details mentioning like the naval update over the past month. Of course, it's the next big update, which we'll see next month. But this past week, lots of Hack Week projects being worked on. You might say, what's a Hack Week project? Basically, I think it's every like 2 or 3 months. Everyone who works at Facepunch can dedicate their time to focus and work on an idea that they think could be added to Rust. So like in the past, some recent changes we've seen, like being able to organize your storages and whatnot, that was a Hack Week idea. Being able to customize your crosshairs, that was a Hack Week idea. So keep an eye on all the things that are being mentioned and worked on. Like, I just saw this. Hack Week curtains. Sure, why not? It would definitely liven up my room and make it look ever so lovely in my base. So, alright, cool. Plenty of brand new, interesting things. But the only way you're going to stay up to date is by keeping an eye on the commits. So that's pretty much everything. I thank you very much for watching this video. But just before we finish, I want to showcase to you one final thing. Ta-da! So, can you see me? Can you spot me? Pause the video if you must. Can you actually find me with what you see here? This is just to emphasize how effective this kit HAZMAT is. And remember, you can get it for absolutely free. I know a lot of people have been saying that they're not too keen with like Kik as a streaming platform. That's fine, but listen, you don't have to commit to it. You could just get a dud email, make a dud account, grab, just grab the skins, get them sent to you. You don't have to stay there, It's up to you, but like, just now reveal where I am. I really got to get this across to you. Like, this is just far too good to miss out on. Look at it. I was just standing there. You might sit there and say, Hedge, you couldn't see anything. Oh yeah, I could. I could see everything. I wasn't fully concealed. Now, you're going to see a whole lot more of this in the video that I'm going to upload on Saturday. As I said, I'll compare it with 2 other HAZMATs. What do you reckon? It's the first ever special HAZMAT drop, and probably not the last. Could we actually get the purple Twitch Rivals HAZMAT? We'll see, we'll see. Could we actually see the HAZMAT becoming a brand new skinnable? Because it was queried, it was asked about. Got to, keep an eye out for those brand new surveys. The 4th one was recently just, posted. As for deplorables, but there's actually going to be a 5th one. Keep an eye out. Maybe this weekend or maybe next week, unfortunately, because again, I'm going away this weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to upload a 48-hour analysis. Might be able to, we'll see. I've got lots of videos prepared. I have made a special video going over that brand new survey. I have got a video showcasing this Kik HAZMAT a whole lot more. We'll see what happens. I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching the video. Keep an eye out. Try your best to get this Kik HAZMAT whilst it's available, because again, once those 10 days have passed, you'll never be able to get it again. Don't regret not having it, okay? Right, well, that's it. That's a wrap. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.